this gave me the opportunity to actually approach this as a real actor. So as I read the manga, it was like, because a voice for an actor, when you know its background and know who they are, the voice should just come. So I knew this guy was really tough, right? But he's very small, you know, almost a midget. Small guy, but tough. And so this voice just started coming out like this. So I said, how about like this, like a Popeye on helium? And he's like, yeah, I like that, let's try it out. So we did a few episodes like that, and then we have to do what's called, when you do a fight scene, they say, just match the screen, right? Just let go of all the screen. Because fighting is so hard to write, because it's just all over the place. Well, there was this one scene where Krillan was fighting somebody, I can't remember, maybe it was one of the Ginyu Force, and his fists were just flying like rapid fire, like really fast, right? And he said, just react to the picture. And I was like, and the director went, yeah, let's use it. And after he said that, I went, I can do whatever I want. I'm the only actor here who can do whatever I want. And so that's why. Generally, we do have the manga as a resource. I like to use that whenever I can. But like with One Piece, they wanted us to sound like the original Japanese. And so that's a completely different process. We now hear every line before we record it. We hear it in Japanese first, and then match it. Because they want it to be as close as possible, which is a completely different kind of challenge, which is fun too. It's a different kind of challenge. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the show. Lupin III, I based his voice on the original Japanese, and also the guy who did the Castle Cagliostro movie, which is probably, I think, one of the best Lupins I've ever seen. And then also myself. And Chris Sabat said that it was typecasting, so I guess it kind of was. Any other questions? By the way, that fight scene just knocked me out. I saw stars.
That's my question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite anime? And what's your favorite anime that you do a voice for?
My favorite anime for a long time was a series. Don't laugh. It's called Project Echo. Have you seen that? I love that show. I'd never seen anything like it. Man, I wasn't used to anime, okay? But Blockbuster started carrying some of them, and I started renting them. And one of the shows was this Project Echo. And I thought it was so great, especially when I found out that this kid was actually Superman's daughter, is what you find out, you know, in the series. And it was just awesome. And then I started seeing this series about this little kid that rides on a cloud, you know? And he gets all these adventures, and he carries it. And it was all subtitled, right? And he carries this big staff and stuff, and has a little friend, little dots on his head and stuff like that. And I thought, that is such a cool show, you know? I didn't know what it was. I just would rent them. And then years later, I auditioned for Funimation. I get the part of Krillan, and there's a poster with that kid on the cloud, you know, with the staff. And I went, oh, I've seen that. That's cool. What is that show? And they said, that's a show you're on, dumbass. Oh, cool! I like that show. What is it called? So, yeah, I love Dragon Ball Z, actually. And I love One Piece. That's my kind of show. I know it's not to everybody's taste. A lot of people would rather have something a little bit more yaoi or something.
Yeah. Dear God, no.
Or something with a little bit more emotional impact, but I like those goofy heroes shows. I do. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Have you ever hung out with Sean Schemmel for any reason aside from the...
It's Sean Schemmel. And yes, I have hung out with Sean Schemmel. Sean Schemmel is, it's kind of like hanging out with Robin Williams. Okay? And Sean Schemmel is very, very hyper. He talks all the time, he talks nonstop, and he talks very fast. And so if you want to understand what he's saying, you got to listen very carefully because he might miss what he just said. That's Sean Schemmel. He's a great guy, one of the funniest people I know, one of the quickest wits I know, but you have to listen carefully, you know. But also a very, very talented person. Sean Schemmel, before he was Goku, was actually a concert French horn player for the Dallas Symphony Orchestra.
He told us that when he was here in August.
And he gave it up because he liked voice acting better. He doesn't even have a French horn. But how do you get to that level? I mean, that's like someone's lifelong dream, right? To be the concert French horn player? I mean, if you're a French horn player, that's it. You've made it. I want to be a voice actor. He's very musically talented, very demented. For a while I was directing, he'd come in and he'd sing this song called Power Dump. Power Dump! So I actually gave him some verses, because he would just sing that. Fill up the toilet cause you water. Fill it up till it breaks the water. Power Dump! Sorry. And Sean Schemmel is also a practical joker. And he takes delight in other people's pain. One time I was recording him, and I like to tell this story because it's so bad. He had some intestinal problems one day from some food he ate, and he was, I believe he called it farting in the booth all day long. And he would tell me about it. He's like, dude, you do not want to come in this booth right now. I said, keep that door closed! So for 4 hours, he'd be in there. There's like a vent in the booth. At one point, he was going, I was like, oh my God, don't open that door. Please don't open that door. So, when he was finished, I said, I'm leaving the room first before you open that door. He left, and shut the door right behind him. Left the funk in the booth. I went, got a soda, took a break, and then I was ready to record Laura Bailey. Came back in, sat down. Laura Bailey walks in. Says, hi, how you doing? I'm good. So let's go ahead. We're ready to record it. It was, I think she was doing Gohan or something. And no, Trunks. Like Kid Trunks. Kid Trunks. And so she walks in there. She closes the door, and I hear. She opens the door. I said, what's wrong? She goes, it smells in here. I said, oh my God. I forgot. Sean Schemmel was in there all day and he had gas. And she goes, crying and stuff. And I said, oh my God. Sean came in the next day and I told him about that and he goes, yes. Yes. And I said, man, you've got to respect that kind of evil. That's awesome. So that's Sean Schemmel in a nutty shell. Any other question? Yeah.
Have you gone far enough to want the series to the point where Uusop is the solo song?
And we haven't got there yet. I'm looking forward to it though. Yeah, looking forward to doing that. Yeah.
What's your opinion on fan fiction?
Fan fiction?
Yeah.
Fan fiction is like masturbation, I guess. I don't think any one way or the other about it. It's somebody's fantasies on paper. What I do think about fan fiction, though, because I see some of it's really good, but it's something that's not part of the story. It's almost like a Dragon Ball Z movie. It has nothing to do with the plot line. It's someone else is taking these characters and doing what they want with them. And I told one kid who did this great story, it was about a post-apocalyptic world where only Piccolo was left. You know, it's an alien from another planet, but it's post-apocalyptic Earth. And I said, this will never happen. You can't get it on Dragon Ball Z. It's a good story. Why don't you change the names? Then you have an original concept. And it's like, he didn't even think about it. He's like, oh, you're right. It's like, yeah. It's an alien from another world. He's adopted by this planet, then everybody dies. That could be a Superman story, you know? And so, he did. I don't know what he did with it. He later became Kira Toriyama. No. But that's what I think of fan fiction. I think fan fiction is fun. It's a great creative outlet. But if you want to be a serious writer, take that, change the names, and present it as your own. You know.